Hey guys, Colin here with a great exercise for you called pelvic tilts. Now, you may have seen this exercise before, but most people do this incorrectly. They tend to arch their back and push from their solar plexus forward as opposed to just moving their pelvis alone. Learning to move your pelvis just by itself is crucial for low back health and mid back health and also neck health because there's a rippling effect throughout the body. When you get that correct movement in there, it frees up the joints, frees up the disc, allows your hips to work and function the way that they're supposed to as well. So, to do this exercise, what I'm going to have you do is lay down on your back. You're going to have your feet flat on the floor. You're going to have your hips, knees, and feet all in alignment, pointed that direction. Okay? Now, I want you to think about this as doing small or micro movements. Small movements are far more helpful and have a more beneficial effect on the body, than, especially in regard to this kind of movement, than trying to overdo it and push it. These are just little tilting motions that we're focusing in on. So what I'm going to have you do in this position, I'm going to have you put one hand right here on your solar plexus area, the other hand just below your belly button here. And what we're doing is we're monitoring what's happening here and what's happening here with each portion of the pelvic tilt. Now, the first part of the tilt that we're going to do is to tuck the tail under, or tuck the pelvis under. Now, in order to do that, I'm not going to drive that motion necessarily from here. I'm going to drive it from my feet. And I want to activate my hamstrings and glutes to make that happen. So the way that I actually do that is I push with my feet as if I'm trying to slide my body this way. And in doing so, it tilts my pelvis and flattens my back to the floor. So in this position, I'm paying attention to the bottom hand as I do this, and I'm going to push with my feet. And what I want to feel with the bottom hand is I want to feel it move toward the floor just a little bit. And what I want you to watch is what my head's doing, because you'll see my head move a few inches toward this wall behind me. So I'm just going to push here, just like so. Now I feel my back flatten to the floor, but it's not enough just to push with my feet and try and hold that position. What I want to do is relax into that position so that my nervous system gets the sense that it's okay to do that. If I'm stuck in a forward tilt most of the time, my body doesn't know how to do that. So I take a deep breath. As I breathe out, I just try and allow my back to flatten or sink into the floor and let my hips relax. Now I'm going to tip forward. In order to do that, that's going to happen right from here, just from the pelvis. And as I do that, I don't want to feel this hand rise at all. I want to feel this hand move a little bit, angle this direction toward the far wall over here. And I also want to feel like my rib cage and mid-back stay flat to the floor. There shouldn't be any movement or arching with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start that motion and watch my head again, see how that moves. Just like so. And again, getting my body used to this position. I don't want to just hold it tight. I want to now take a deep breath and let my body rest into that position. And then I would go back into the tuck again. And you're going to go back and forth like that for about 2 to 3 minutes. So go ahead and set a timer for yourself and work on this. Remember, these are small motions you're trying to do, not big motions. That's really, really important to remember. And then once you've done that, I would encourage you to get up and walk around a little bit, swing your arms as you do, because as we're getting those hips and pelvis to move, the hips start loosening up and then they can move more individually, and that will allow your hip flexors and low back to become less compressed and to let go as well, so you can get into more functional patterns.